Hi, good evening. This is Sunny with Sunny's Astrology, and I am going to be doing a little bit of a chart interpretation that I think a lot of people are going to find interesting because it refers to activities and transits that are happening now that are big impacts. So let me pop open the screen. So I have this person's permission to share their chart without details. So their name is person. And, but you know, I would never share anybody's chart without their okay, but this person has said it is okay with them if I show their chart and talk in general about what I see happening for them in their chart and in current events. So this is their birth chart. And the stuff that's really of interest to me is right over here. The AS stands for ascendant. This is the horizon at the moment of this person's birth. And then we also have Saturn right here and the sun. And notice how close these are together. The ascendant is at 24 degrees. Saturn is at 22, Sun is at 20 degrees. And so this has particular relevance for this person's life in their natal chart. But there's something really interesting that's happening right now. And so we pop open this additional wheel here, and you can see in the blue, this circle, this is the current planets, the position of the planets currently. So we have the natal chart, we have the same natal chart for our entire life. And it's kind of a reference and a starting point. But then, planets continue to move things, like sand through the hourglass, right? And so as I was doing the reading for this, the natal reading for this person, I like to pop open current transits just so I can see what's happening in the current temperature, the current climate, and how does that play with their placements. So what is really interesting to me, and like I said, here's the same points on this person's chart: ascendant 24, Saturn 22, Sun 20. And so what's interesting is right over here, on the very opposite axis of the chart, over here in the 7th house, we have Pluto at 22 degrees in Capricorn. Right now we have Saturn at 26, so just a little bit past this 24 point. And then we also have Jupiter over here at 17. Now, if you follow astrology at all, you might know that Saturn and Pluto have been kind of dancing with each other in the sign of Capricorn for a while now. Pluto's been in Capricorn for several years. It takes a long time for Pluto to transit a sign. Saturn has been in Capricorn for a couple of years now, about two and a half. But they came together back in January. And a lot of astrologers are looking at the conjunction of Saturn and Pluto and saying, wow, that seems like that would be this virus, this COVID-19 virus. And if you look back through history at other times when major plagues have ravaged the world, you do see Saturn and Pluto together. Pluto is that energy that creates chaos, creates mess, really likes to just, kick the hornet's nest. And then we get to clean it up and fix it. And in doing so, we figure out how to transform and transmute the situation. So So Pluto likes to bring that energy. It's a little bit of a malefic energy. It likes to create chaos and mess. And then Saturn is about restrictions. Sound familiar? We're dealing with a lot of restrictions. You can't do this, small groups and wear the mask and all of those things. And then good old Jupiter comes in here, and he was a little later to the party. But when Jupiter arrives, whatever Jupiter finds, it just makes bigger. And so when Jupiter came into the area that Pluto and Saturn were hanging out in, we did start to see some, expansion of the issues around this virus. Now, that's in the macro. That's in the world. That's not necessarily in this person's chart. This person is, I don't believe this person is dealing with COVID-19 in their life, and certainly not in their relationship, which seventh house talks a great deal about relationships. And it's not just relationships like, partnerships. It's not necessarily just talking about the other. It is talking about you. So you is the first house, and you in relationship to the other. So there's no relationship if there's not you. So it's both people are involved in a seventh house kind of topic. And what we have here, look at Pluto right here at 22 degrees. Look at Saturn right over here at 22 degrees. Pluto and Saturn the energies are lining directly up for this person. And I don't have details, and I wouldn't share them even if I did, but this would indicate some major things being kicked up, some situations happening in the arena of relationships, and very specifically, not just the other person, but very specifically relating to this person whose birth chart we're looking at. So, while the current events might be happening in their seventh house, it's also reflecting back into their own self, their own sense of identity, their own, how do I see myself? How do I operate in the world? Is what I do in the world, am I doing the right kinds of things? Why is this relationship not working? Is it me? Is it them? So there's a lot of I see a lot of back and forth and a lot of just kind of, drama and situations to deal with. And, the interesting thing is I'm going to make a few changes here so that you can see, because I mentioned that Pluto has been here for quite a while. And let's do that'll work. So let's just start this clock moving backward. I'm going to move the chart backward so that you can kind of get a sense of maybe how long this has been going on. And so we're tracking backwards. You can see over here the date. It's going backwards one day at a time, and the moon is going backwards, and everything is going backwards. And we're still seeing Pluto here at retrograde at 23 degrees, Saturn at 29. Oh, now it's 0. It's backing up. Just bear with me. And so you can see this. So Pluto is just sitting right here at these critical degrees. 24 degrees is the ascendant. 24 degrees is where Pluto is sitting right now. So this is just hammering on this person's sense of self and how they are in the world, how they're coming across. And so we're still noticing, and now we're at Pluto is up here. We're at 22. So 22 degrees directly aspecting their Saturn. which is their boundaries and their restrictions and their ability to say no to things. And so we're still here. Here's November 2019. Pluto is still at 20 degrees. So this is directly opposite, directly affecting their sun. So their true sense of self and how this is all playing. And you can see Pluto transits are very long term. We're now in July of 2019. Pluto is still here at 22 degrees. This person is, I imagine, feeling like they just cannot get a break in these events that just kind of keep, are going to be continuing to play out for a while. Saturn is now here at 17 degrees. So Saturn is just now, I'm going to pause. This is February 2019. Saturn is just now entering into this aspect. So I would have expected, and I haven't talked with this person specifically about timing of events, but I would have expected that, so Pluto is here at 21, Saturn at 15. So while Pluto would be in there kicking up fuss for a while yet, in about February of 2019, I would have expected that it would have kind of ramped up a little bit more because of the addition of Pluto moving in. And so we can keep going backwards a little bit more. And now we're starting to see Pluto's at 20. This is December of 2018. Pluto's at 19. So now you're starting to see that this is now probably about where some of these issues started kicking in. Pluto here at 18 degrees would just be starting to get into the sun's orb. So, but this is kind of some of the stuff. This is the stuff that we talk about in an astrology reading, and we look at where these current events, current transits that the planets are affecting you and how they're affecting you specifically. This is a very salient and very dramatic example of what transits can be doing, and so I'm just wanting to share that and wanting to show you this is some of the things that we can do when we look at your chart. And so I would love it if you would be wanting to give me a call, send me an email, and we'll set up and we'll look at what's happening in your chart, in your life, and see if we can figure out maybe things to do to work with the energy instead of working opposed and against the energy and having so much mayhem in our lives. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be well.